All right, Mother. Say hi to Granny. And Pop Pop. So, today is Sunday, and it is also your birthday. And we are preparing to meet you for your birthday lunch with the family. But you know where my brain has been. And had not prepared anything for you. Someone had suggested I make a video. I just couldn't think of any other good stories or anything at the moment. I think a lot of bad ones. But then I remembered my cousin Jennifer. She and I had this book, and we would write stuff in it, mail it back and forth to each other. And then we just sort of forgot for a while. And I guess when Joyce was in the hospital, excuse me. Good Lord. Jenny and I were communicating, and we just decided to try and start it up again. So she mailed it back to me. I had been the last person to write in it. So she wrote some stuff in it and mailed it back. But she, years ago, she mailed me a book of poetry. I forget the poet's name, but I think the name of the book was, I think it's Love is a Dog from Hell. And it's just really, I don't even know how to describe it. It's very strange poetry. Intriguing nonetheless, kind of abstract. But I saw a few poems in there that I enjoyed. And I thought I would try at least a little effort to write something like that poem. So I did, and I sent it to Jennifer, which in turn prompted her to send me something back. But this was my attempt to do a new type of poetry, I guess. And it was about when I hurt my hand. So this is called Nerve Pain. I cut myself today. Don't fret, it was not on purpose, but a stupid accident. I knew right away this cut was different. This cut was lethal. I looked, damn it. All this shit coming back to me now. I looked inside myself, and I could see my talent, my skills, my love pulsating from my wrist like a teenage ejaculation. No purpose or direction, just crimson potential spattered on cold porcelain. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you I was brave, but this time I was scared. Like a coward, I thought of only myself. I thought of only myself and how I may never again teach my sons to shoot a bow, or never again teach my daughter how to walk on her hands. I almost cried as I tried to push my fleeing passion back into my wrist, because I then knew never again would I feel the safety of my wife's breast cradled in this hand. Ugh. Yeah, like I needed to revisit that day. Anyway, so that was my attempt to be some abstract poet. But so Jenny writes me back, and I hope she doesn't mind me reading this. So this particular story that she's telling me, I believe, was on March 24th, 2013. And she says, so it's only fair if you shared your innermost thoughts that I do the same. It probably won't take long before you start thinking Jenny might be crazy too. Might as well start with the worst day of our lives so far, other than when I lost Mommy in Kearney. It was a Sunday. I turned 40 a few days before, and Eric and I went to Atlantic City and had the best meal of our lives at Bobby Flay's, which was the most money we had ever spent on a meal. Later we thought, well, glad we did that, since it was one of my last meals before I died. Tyler was meeting up at a go-kart track. He was 12 years old. I was going to drive him and his friends. He had never hopped in the shower, and all morning I was trying to clean up because a mattress was being delivered. Apparently other people cleaned under their mattress beds. Question mark. I never knew that was a thing. But anyway, 13 years of dust came out with that mattress being moved into our hallway in preparation of the new one coming in. I couldn't get a handle on my breathing all morning. I sat in the living room with my inhaler, Advair disc, nebulizer, and prednisone had been there, going from one to the next. As usual, the panic set in and I started to cry. I've never been a drug user, but at that moment I felt like an addict. So much anxiety, and no pill breathing treatment could help me. We have been to the ER countless times over the years, so Eric kept saying, "Are you ready to go? Let's just go." But I had a carpool set up and a mattress coming. The last moments I remember were probably seconds, but time went so slow. I stood up and I remember feeling myself lose consciousness. I said, "Call 911." Eric aged about 10 to 20 years this day. At this point, he has filled in the blanks for me. I went into respiratory arrest. Tyler called 911 while Eric caught me so I didn't hit my head on the coffee table. He laid me on my living room floor. This is the weird, super clear part. I actually had a conversation in my head. I knew I'm going to die. I can't believe my children are not going to have a mother just like me. I know my angel mom was there, and I know she brought me back. I pleaded to some higher power to get me through this, and apparently that was too much for my heart to handle, and I went into cardiac arrest. Since Tyler had already talked to one ambulance who thought they had dispatched for asthma, people will never understand our Isbell Baker James. Thanks, Trendy. Asthma. He called 911 again. They gave him instructions to give CPR over the phone, which Eric did. Sidebar, there couldn't have been a better person to make that call and take directions. Tyler is very calm. He is a very good listener because he isn't busy talking. Huge bonus in this situation. Never knew this either. When you legally die, your body shuts down. Everything shuts down and leaves your body. So I peed my pants and started foaming at the mouth and turning a shade of blue, which Tyler described as being the color of his smirk. Eric put his mouth right over the foaming substance. Later I told him I couldn't believe he did it, which he replied, they could have told me to blow air in your asshole, and I would have done it. Exactly what you hope for in a spouse, truthfully. I came to when they were putting the trach in at the hospital. By the way, 2 ambulances showed up right with the mattress delivery company. Eric threw the guy $20 and said, yeah, I gotta go. Sorry, man. I can't even imagine what the scene must have been like in our tiny foyer. The 3 cats trying to escape, 2 ambulances full of EMTs, mattress delivery personnel, and the police questioning Eric, assuming he tried to kill me. Because none has had asthma that bad. This is protocol, they said. What my cardiologist diagnosed me with was Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, broken heart syndrome. Carrie Fisher's mom just died from this. Stress is a big contributing factor, and of course asthma. I was the youngest case my cardiologist had ever treated, but it was more common in women, usually 20 years older than me. I now see a pulmonologist regularly. Damn, we're old. Death did change me a lot. I stopped caring what people thought. Time is very precious to me. I take my kids out of school just to spend the day with them. I enjoy being by myself more than I ever did. Alone with my thoughts, driving and listening to music, just slowing my life down. Tyler saw a counselor for a while, but he never said too much. Eric was probably the one who should have. He still tenses up and is antsy when an ambulance passes. Alex was out of town on a school trip, which was a great blessing, and we kept it from until I was released from the hospital and back home. Eric describes it as a happy, simple existence. and then a parade with marching band come through our lives. He also holds a lot in, but it changed him too. He is a wreck about my medications, making sure we are never without an inhaler and never too far from the hospital. He checks on me regularly, and sometimes at night just patting my head to make sure I'm okay. We will never live in an older house because he worries about the mold. I can't imagine what it was like for him to watch all of that go down. How quickly our life changed and how much we all almost lost. So, there's more in here, but I'll save that for me, I guess. Yeah, so happy birthday. 2 days I almost died, and the day Jennifer almost died. But you're still alive. As I said in my last video, even though everyone said you wouldn't make it. Question authority. You're not always right. All right, happy birthday.